I built this entire cinematic personal website in about 30 minutes using Google's free AI tools. No code, no design team, just me, a laptop, and a workflow that actually works. Now I've built hundreds of websites over the last 3 years, and most of them took days, but this one, 30 minutes. And it looks better than 90% of the custom coded portfolios I see online. Because here's what most people get wrong. They think a modern website requires coding skills, expensive tools, or a design degree, but it doesn't. Google just released a set of free AI tools, Gemini, Whisk, Flow, and Firebase Studio, that let you generate visuals, animate motion, and deploy a live site faster than you could order lunch. And I'm gonna go show you the exact workflow I used. First frame to final deploy, including the part that nobody talks about, how to actually connect your custom domain without losing your mind. And by the end of this video, you'll have a repeatable system for building personal websites that look premium, feel alive, and make people think, wait, you built this yourself? Here's the thing, your personal website is your first impression. The design, the motion, the vibe, it all communicates professionalism before you even say a word. But building something modern used to be brutal. You needed design skills, coding experience, hours of trial and error just to make it look intentional. And I've been there. I once spent 2 weeks on a portfolio site that still looked like a WordPress template from 2014. But now, Google's free AI ecosystem changed the game. What used to require a full team can now be done solo in hours with tools anyone can access today. Let me show you the workflow. Here's a 3-step system. First, we're going to use Nano and Google Whisk. We establish your visual identity. Think of it like creating the first and last frames of a movie. And these 4 images define the entire aesthetic, spacing, lighting, color balance, and everything flows from here. The second step is Google Flow. So we take those static frames and animate them with smooth transitions, parallax ready motion, and make it feel more like a movie. The kind of micro animations that make a site feel expensive. And the final step is Firebase Studio. This is where we build the actual website, your visuals, the animations, and the layout all come together in a real deployed site. There is no complex coding required. So that's it. 3 tools, 1 workflow, and by the end, you'll have a modern personal website that looks like you hired a studio. Let's build it. For step 1, we're creating the opening and closing frames. And we do this inside of Google Whisk. So this is where we generate the first and last frames, the 2 images that define the feel of your entire website. Now you can see that I've actually got 4 images because I wanted more images to work from, but you only need 2 for this particular step. So open the brand website prompts document and copy the image generation prompt. If you want a link to this, it's in the video description. And then paste it inside of the prompting box. The next thing you need is to upload a reference image. And so when it runs, you'll have something like this. So the first 2 images are going to be the opening frames. After a few seconds, the first frames will appear. So I'm checking for spacing, lighting, color balance. If something feels off, no problem. I'll just run the entire prompt again. Once I'm satisfied, I download it. Now I do the exact same thing, but this time for the last frames, which are these 2 images here. And these 2 images act like the bookends. They define the opening moment and the final impression. This time I grab the last frame prompt, which is quite simple, and then paste it inside of Whisk. But this time I'm going to change the reference image and upload the one that Whisk generated. Let it run, and then download the images once you're happy with it. And that's it. We now have the first and last frames. They're clean, they're intentional, and we're ready to animate. So step 2 is turning these frames into motion. Now we're going to open Google Flow. This is where we transform those 2 static frames into a smooth, fluid animation. The first thing I'm doing is switching from text to video to frames to video. Then I upload the starting and ending frames we just created. Next, I grab the Flow prompt from my prompts document, and this tells Flow how to animate between the frames while preserving that clean, modern look. Now Flow takes a few moments to generate the animation, but once it's done, I review the motion, smooth transitions, balance spacing, and make sure that I get that premium minimal feel. And this is what it should look like. The third step is to convert the animation into web-ready frames. And this is where most people mess up. They try to drop a video directly into their site, but don't do that because it will tank your load times. Instead, we're converting this animation into a WebP sequence. That way, we can add scroll-based animation whilst keeping it lightweight. And I'm opening a site called Easy GIF. It's simple, it's free, and it's perfect for this. I select video to WebBP, then upload the animation from Flow. Just make sure that the start times and end times match. So my video is 8 seconds, so this is correct. For the size, we're just going to leave it as original. For the frame rate, since the source is 24, it has to be 24 or lower. Otherwise, it's not going to make a difference. So what I'm going to select is 20 frames per second. And then for the method, I'm using FFmpeg. And for quality, leave it as 85%. And then convert it to WebP. Once it processes, you'll see something like this. It's lightweight, it's pretty cool, and looks pretty good. I click on Split, which breaks the WebP into individual frames. Then I download the file containing every frame. And that's it. We now have a full frame-by-frame sequence ready to drop into our design. Step 4 is is uploading the frames into Supabase. So now we need to upload the WebP sequence into a database that our website can access. And we're going to be using Supabase for this because it works really well with Firebase Studio and it's completely free. So I'm opening Supabase, and if you don't have an account, just create one. And once I'm in, I'm creating a new project. Fill out the form and it's done. Now go to the left-hand side where it says storage, and then you want to create a new bucket. Make sure you set it to public, otherwise you won't be able to connect it through Firebase Studio. And then you upload the WebP sequence. It's literally just drag and drop. So I've got 159 frames in here for that 8-second video, and we're done. Our full WebP sequence is now stored and ready for the build. Step 5, and my favorite step, is building the website inside Firebase Studio. This is where everything comes together: layout, animation, and design. So I've got Firebase Studio open, and now I grab this website prompt. This is pretty extensive, and it includes all the elements that I want to see in my personal branded website. So you've got the editable settings, the hero section, the colors, the total frames that I'm importing from Supabase, the left side, text block, skill focus highlights, the social icons, the themes, and the motion graphics. And then I paste that entire prompt into Firebase Studio. Now I head back to Supabase, copy the URL of the first WebP frame, and paste it inside the placeholder within the prompt. You just need to get the URL. And this pulls our visual direction straight into the build. When you hit enter, Firebase Studio analyzes the prompt. When it's ready, you click on where it says prototype this app. It will generate the first version of the layout automatically. And after a bit of setup time, I preview the website. For a first pass, it's already solid. It's a clean layout and it nails the design parameters. Now I run a few refinement prompts, tightening spaces, improving the balance, making sure the whole thing feels right. And we're done. And here's the bonus that nobody talks about: exporting the code. I open Firebase project and click on switch to code editor. Select all the files on the left hand side and choose zip and download after you right click. And that's it. Your project is now exported and ready to be deployed on any hosting platform that you can choose. So what used to take weeks of design, coding, trial and error, can now be built with a clear, repeatable workflow. Once you understand this flow, the visual direction, the motion, the final build, you can create a personal website that looks modern, feels alive, and actually helps you stand out from the crowd. And this skill is already very useful and very lucrative. Let me show you how. Head over to upwork.com and do a search for website design. And you can see a couple of jobs here that are already paying big bucks. The first one is an expert category defining brand plus website designer. The budget is $3,000. And honestly, having had a look at the job spec, you could do most of this inside of Firebase Studio. And most of these clients will give you the assets. They'll give you the images, the logos. And with that, it's very easy for you to either edit with AI using Google Whisk and animating it with Google Flow. Here's another one for rapid restoration. And honestly, you're going to blow the competition out of the water when you show them what you can do with this skill today. And I'll show you one more. This is a customized website development for business. The estimated budget is $5,000. Even a complex website won't take you more than 10 hours because the one I built took me about 30 minutes. And if you love this video and you want more money-making ideas on how you can use AI to build a business, a side hustle, or do whatever you wanted to do, click on the link in the description and sign up for the Automation Kings private community. Inside, I've got well over 100 templates for automations that are built on this channel and automations that are built for clients. You can literally drag and drop these inside of make.com or N8N. So a link for that is in the description. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Smash the like button if you love this video, and I'll see you next time.